Good morning. Good morning. How are you all? Good morning, everyone. Let me. Welcome. And good morning. Another day, another dollar to be made. This week has been tough. No trade yet. It has really been tough. No trade yet. No trade yet for the week. Wow. So this one, I anticipated this. But because the timing was very bad, I didn't want to involve myself. I anticipated this because of the timing. So you see, sometimes you see the direction of the market, but the timing is bad. I anticipated GBP the sell. Everything was aligned. So if it were to be at the lending session, maybe the trade would have been taken around this side because the 30 minutes really gave us the entry because of the timing. Okay, the time of the day was very bad for the trade to be taken. So I think I have to. So I'm gradually adding GBP because I've been practicing and I've been testing it. And one thing I've noticed is most of my. So I think now GBP CHF2 will be added to the pairs that I will trade because you don't just wake up and start trading a pair. You need to mark it down, see whether what do you call it? It's going with your analysis. Okay, you need to see whether it's going with your analysis. So maybe, Benny, how are you? Hello, Benny. Why you don't sleep? You don't sleep. I was awake around 12 to 1. I saw you online. You said you missed some move and other stuff. Around 5 something to your age, Charlie. Why are you the only person in your family? Are you the only savior in your family? Hey, why did you take the buy on? Did you take the buy on GBP during the Asian session? Because I saw a buy.
And I missed it. I wasn't okay with the entry.
Oh, but it gave an entry.
Yeah. But like I couldn't get it by then.
Yeah, I saw. I came around 1 something. I was awake by 12, but I was just using the phone. So when I came to my decks, I saw this move. But it gave the entry, the H4 broke and closed. When it comes to the H1, the H1 made the red test. So that would have been the 30 minutes. When the 30 minutes open, created the bullish candle or give the support.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the entry would have been around the side. Even you would have been taking it around the H4. But a stop loss would have been. Usually, I prefer using the H4.
I was thinking that when I enter the H4, my stop would be like one. I was waiting for the next H4 candle too. Will show up.
And when I was analyzing GBP CHF2, I saw this sell. By the time, I see GBP is during the lending, CHF2 is a lending pair. So I said, oh, let me.
Yeah.
The entry was around this side. So that one too. So I think I'm gradually adding GBPCHF to the because I've done one of
We'll get more best trade now.
yeah
At
I've
least
done
maybe we can definitely get like one or two.
yeah I've done one or two analysis on it, and I've seen it's mostly moves. It has really, last time I analyzed this one, it moved this down to this one to move. So I'm gradually looking back. Now maybe when I get an entry, I'll be taking it on. So I think we have news around 6:30 CPI.
Yeah.
So with the CPI, CPI is simply a consumer price index. So it's an inflation data. So what it simply means is what? So inflation, so you have to first of all understand the effect of inflation on an economy. So they are expecting negative 0.1 last. So inflation is good for an economy. Okay, if cost of goods and services are increasing in an economy, one way or the other, or at the other side, it's for investors or for those who invest in an economy, or those, it's good for an economy. It's simple, it's good for an economy. Inflation is good for an economy. So now they are expecting negative numbers, which is very bad. Okay, which is very bad. So I'm expecting CHF to be weak, because at normal, so if CHF should be strong, then the numbers should be good. But now the numbers that they're expecting is negative 0.1, which is very bad as compared to the previous numbers, what was 0.0. Now they're expecting negative 0.1, which is bad for the economy. And if it is bad for the economy, it is also bad for the currency that we are about to be trading. So since they're expecting negative 0.1, I'm expecting the CHF should be very be weak, because inflation should be what? If inflation numbers are high, then the currency is going to be strong. So now I'm expecting CHF to be weak. So comparing it with GBP JPY, that means what? So we have to see more sales. Okay, since they're expecting negative, then what? GBP CHF should continue selling. So around 6:30 we will be able to. So these numbers that they've given, as I've been saying, those who have been consistent over here, I've been saying this is just a forecasted numbers. Okay, so it's not the actual numbers, but most of it is, most at times it is right. Because yesterday we even saw it on the ADP. We said the dollar is going to be weak based on what Forex Factory gave, and we noticed what? The dollar too became very weak. Those who joined the stream yesterday around this thing. So I will try, and maybe NFP too. I'll try to do live stream during NFP too, for us to see how the fundamentals to also work. Okay, so we are expecting this thing to be. So if you join, like, it's been a while I heard from where my audiences are coming from. So kindly type in where you are joining or tuning in from in the chat box. Where are you tuning in from in the chat box? Where are you tuning in? And kindly give a like, click on the thumbs up button, give a like. So those, I don't know whether some people, we do the live stream every day, the trading session, unless on weekends. We do it every day. So if you are not aware, those who are not aware, kindly just put a notification, just put the channel on a notification. Okay, so anytime you go live, you get notified, because there are a lot of value. Even if you don't have money to join the course, you can, for the meantime, you can be attending or be joining the live stream for you to, maybe sometimes we share trade ideas. But this week has been tough for us. We've missed one or two trades which we were confused about, but for the past 3 weeks or so, we've been getting, at least every week we get one trade, or during every week we get at least one trade on the stream. So at least every week, within a week, we get like one or two trades within on the stream. So if you consistently join, I think you can make money, because our analysis mostly are on point that you can make money from, because we wait for high confirmations before we execute. All right, so before the news, let's try and break down GBP CHF, and let's see how the news is going to affect But the fundamentals, according to fundamental, we are still expecting what the we are expecting weakness in the pound. Oh, if you are expecting weakness, since the pound is what the base currency, then you have to the pound should the GBP CHF should sell. I've forgotten. Since the GBP is
Yeah.
the base currency and the CHF is what the quote currency, then if you are expecting the CHF to be weak, then the pound CHF should buy. Pound CHF should buy according to, but we don't know what will happen. We don't know whether the numbers that they gave is going to be true. So we are not going to fully rely. We are going to wait for the news to be released before. So let's say we are in NFP week, a very important week for trading the forex market. So it's not surprising we are not getting trade because most of the time that's how the NFP weeks are. It's kind of very difficult because the markets are not moving like as we expect. It usually moves during the news. During the news times or the news hours, that's when mostly we see high volume. And most of the times, most people lose money during NFP weeks. That's what happens because of how slow and consolidating or ranging the market is. So it's normal. So we meet every day here. Okay. So those who join, so you kindly put the channel on a notification. Anytime we come live, you get notified with anything that it will be said over here. So it's all about the game. Is all about consistency, nothing different. If you are consistent, there's no way with time you are not going to get results. So even if you are confused at the beginning, just make yourself as just make yourself like, how should I even put it? Just adapt. Let me put it that way. Just adapt. Okay. But you need to show up every day. You see, every day I've been showing up. Every day I've been showing up. That's the secret key to this game. You need to show up every day. Show up every day. Show up every day. And with time, you get to analyze. You get to understand that the game is very simple. You get it. It's very simple. So you just keep up. And it's also the key to everything in life. In life, you need to show up. You need to show up every day. In anything that you do, you need to show up. I'm here for the first time and I'm impressed with your teaching. Yeah. Um when it comes to Forex, should I say I don't want to give my because that things usually vex me. Yeah, so I know what I'm talking about. So you need to show up.
For example, Dr. PT.
Forex doctor. people people usually give themselves names. Hey Charlie. People will say they are this, they are this. I'm not a doctor in Forex, but I just love analyzing the charts. So I'm a chartist. I'm a chartist. So this is the support and resistance. But now Brenny is overtaking me, Charlie. The way the boy do the sleep there, I'm even afraid. Hey, I wake up around one something. You are still live. You are typing around five something too. I even went to I went to bed again around 4. I wake up and still you are checking the hey, why you don't sleep? You have insomnia or what?
When I can't sleep,
Hey.
I can't make him inside.
But do you sleep? You have to sleep. If you don't sleep, then you have to see your doctor. It's not good. You have to sleep.
No, but I've been sleeping. I've been sleeping.
Or you sleep daytime. You see, some people are good at it during daytime. That's the time they sleep. But for me,
No, like I sleep very early. By like 6 o'clock after 3
okay.
p.m. 3 p.m. So I wake up around 11:30.
Okay. Then your method is good. Okay. All right. So and then I think during the Asian session too, you can be watching the GBP JPY, but not
Okay,
GBP's USD. GBP JPY.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so let's move to the technical analysis before the news will be released. So I think it's left to that many minutes. It will be 6:30. So you have 10 minutes. So you have 10 minutes to analyze GBP before the news will be released. But before that, you've already analyzed the fundamentals and you notice according to Forex Factory, they are expecting what the CHF to be weak because the inflation data is what lesser than what came out last month or what came out the previous month. So if inflation data is weak, it's not good for the economy because inflation is good for the economy. If there was high inflation, persistent increase in the general prices of goods and services is what is high in an economy. It is good because one thing, the reason it is good is what when inflation is good, inflation numbers are high. One thing is what the central bank of every country is going to they are going to try to what increase the interest rate. When they increase the interest rate, the reason behind that is what to try to what calm down inflation. Okay, so when interest rate too is high, what is going to happen is if one thing that is going to be very bad is when you take loan from the bank, that's when you are going to pay high charges on. But when it comes to investing or maybe investing in treasury bills, the bonds, the fixed deposit and those things, your returns is going to go up. Okay, because interest rate is high. So that's what mostly investors want. They want interest rates to be high. So assuming maybe you've heard maybe now the central bank or the commercial banks are giving like 10% a month on any investment that you are doing. What are you going to do? Are you not going to push all your money to that side because you know at the end of the month you are going to get high returns on what your money? So that's what usually happens. So that's why inflation is good because as I explained, they are going to increase the interest rate. So that's why we need what inflation to come to move up. Okay, so that they will increase the interest rate so that and at the same time you'll be getting high returns on our investments or anything you deposit. But the only thing that is going to affect is when you take loan. When you take loan, you are going to be paying high interest or high return. The interest on the loan is going to be high. That's the only problem. But when it comes to fixed deposit, treasury bills, those bonds, and everything is going to increase. You are going to get high returns on your money. All right. So on the technical side too, the monthly time frame, the various support and resistance areas is what we have. Support. You need to be very fast to observe. You need support. You have support. You have support. So that's why I thought. So when you move to the weekly time frame, so I hope my network is okay today. Those on YouTube, is the network okay? If you can hear me very well, loud and clear, kindly type in one in the chat box. Let me know whether you can hear me loud and clear. And I even asked where I wanted to know where you people are listening from. I want to know where my audience are going. If you can hear me loud and clear, kindly type in one in the chat box. Let me know whether you can hear me loud and clear. So on the weekly time frame, we have the weekly trend is what, but usually we start in plotting out the trend. You can hear me loud and clear. Okay, loud and clear, loud and clear. Let's move. So on the weekly time frame, usually we don't consider the trend, but we mostly check out the support and resistances. Okay, but for you to be able to check out the support and resistances according to how I indicate them, you need to understand structure. So we had what lower low. Okay, so if the market is pulling back, it is going to pull back either on this ones. Okay, so you need to plot them out, but unfortunately we saw what. So now you are going to have what another. Now this one has been validated because this candle has below this one. So all this support and resistances have been invalidated. So clarity, or if you want to get the specifics, you need to transfer. Can see it clearly that what price has gotten to what support level. So that's why I'm even so mostly the technicals really align with fundamentals. Okay, so if you can see, we can now notice what got into a weekly what support. That's now got into a weekly support. So that's why I think the fundamentals is what saying even broken. I think it has even broken. So it's retested on this one. So if price is pulling back, it is going to pull back on this one. Going to pull back on this one, or it's going to pull back on this one. So when it's coming down, it's coming back down to fill this week. Okay, it's coming. This one is broken. It came back. We had lower low, made some consolidation. So let's move to the H4 time. So now we know that's what the daily time frame is. What the daily is what a downtrend. Over there. So the H4 time frame too is what? Too is clearly what? When it comes to higher time frame support and resistances, don't justify the break based on what? Lower time frame. You don't have to justify the break based on lower time frame like the H1, the M30. You need prediction. You need to make sure higher time frame has broken line that I thought that we had. So before price the candle, before you conclude that the candle has broken it, you need to use what? You need to use higher time frame to conclude it has broken it. Okay, because when it comes to M15, when it comes to M8, it can easily break and close. Okay, it can easily break and close. So for you to get the strong confirmation, use the higher time frame like the H4, the daily time frame. And because if you continue be using the M30, M15 and those styles, it can easily be broken and close. Okay, so now that daily time frame is what? A down trend. H4 time frame too is what? It's broken. But if I want to sell, I'm not going to sell based on the H1. Since the H4 hasn't closed, I'm not going to sell based on that. I need to. I will have to make sure decision. The buy is going to. It might come to pass. Okay, so it's left with 1 minute. Or it's left with some few seconds for the news to be released. So around in the next, the CPI news, the CPI data is going to be. If you want to be gambling on the news, you just set your buy stuff over here. Okay, and you set your sell stop. So the one that you have high conviction, maybe then what it will. So let's see. We are anticipating a buy based on what the Forex factory is giving us. So let's see what's going to happen. It needs to be released. Please, your line has started breaking. Really? I don't know what's wrong with MTN for now. You see the gap? Who saw the gap? You see where the market started? Yeah. So the buy has really come to pass. It's exactly what you projected. So let's see the numbers that came. I said you are expecting a buy. Is it the gap? Numbers hasn't come yet. I hope you guys saw it. I can't hear anything. Really?
And people still have him to be like,
Then maybe it might be from your network because I'm trying to listen often. Maybe it might be your network. Please check your network. I hope you guys. So that's how usually you interpret the news event. So exactly the numbers were negative. The numbers that came was negative. So exactly what it is. So that it's very that is going to go in our favor. Not every time. It's not going to happen every time. Sometimes this data that they are going to release. So you have, if you want to interpret the news event, if you want to analyze it and make a decision on the chart according to the figures that they are giving over here, what you can be doing is what when we say CPI, what does it mean? So you need to understand the meaning of the news event. You get it? So when you talk about CPI, you need to understand the meaning and its impact on what the economy. So next 12:30, they are to release unemployment claims. So you need to understand what that unemployment, the meaning of these things. You come to what the data that has been released. So 22.22. So this one comparing it means what they're expecting a higher number. So if they're expecting an unemployment means what? It's unemployment. If there was high unemployment on the economy, it's very bad. And now they are expecting higher number as compared to the previous numbers. So that means what? What you have to know is the currency is going to be very bad. Like as in we are going to have weakness on what the currency. So that's how we usually to interpret. Like read about the basic, read about the news event or read about the news events. Understand the meaning of the event. So this one, you see the gap will by all means get filled. Okay, so the market has now got into daily resistance. So that means what? Let me check whether I'm coming. I think my network is breaking. I Saturday. All right, so let's try it. I'm trying to. Network is very. I'm saying I'm expecting this gap to get filled. But for by all means, all right. So let's try it. I'm trying to. Network is very. I'm saying I'm expecting this gap to get filled. So by all means. So we are opting for a sell on GBP USD, but since it has gotten to this weekly what, it will be doing some retracement before it will be making some retracement before it will move by. So let's see what is going to happen. So now, so you see, most of the times that your support level price really struggle to break. So what you saw, you saw a buy. So let me off the network. I'm hoping by this time it will get better. Telegram, please, can you see my screen? On Telegram, can you see the
Yeah,
screen?
yeah, yeah.
So does it mean when you get the
Yes, it's okay.
when you get the Starlink, does it mean the network is going to where it's going to be good, or what? Well, who has
Yeah,
used the
yeah,
Starlink?
very good, very good, very good. And one of my guys is using some.
Uh, because MTN is very bad. I'm using Cas 6 to the Matego net Cas 6, and yes,
That's good.
yes, maybe wait time I have to get a Starlink and see.
Okay.
So GBP CHF is buying. All right, let's check GBP JPY and see. Wow. Okay, so let's analyze GBP this thing JPY. So with GBP JPY, so you see with the tech, I hope with the fundamentals, how I explain it, you people have gotten it. How the fundamentals work. So I hope you guys have gotten how I explain the fundamentals. So it's the same thing that you are going to be using in all the high impact news, or in all the news events. That's how you are going to interpret it. So you need to understand the meaning of the news events and how it's going to impact the economy. And every currency is what affiliated or is being influenced by an economy. So if you understand how the news is going to affect the economy, it's easily for you to interpret it. So let's see let's see GBP JPY. So with GBP JPY, the monthly time frame, you had what, the support over here. So mostly with the support and resistances, the reason why you have been seeing support and resistances many a times is because of the high. You need to pay attention to support when it comes to the higher time. If you are going to overlook the lower time frame support and resistance with that one, it's fine. But when it comes to the higher time frames, you need to pay much attention to that. You get it? You need to pay much attention to the higher time frame support and resistance. But when it comes to the lower time frame, so most of the times with the lower time frame, I even overlook some. Okay, so I'll show you something about, but you have to identify the zones at the higher time frame. When you identify the zones at the higher time frame, your goal or your projection is what, or your focus is on the higher time frame. So whatever the lower time frame will be doing, the support and resistances on the lower time frames, you are not going to get bothered. So that's why mostly I analyze and do my give out my daily bias, or my daily projection on the H4 in the daily time frame. So whatever will be happening at the lower time frames, I'm not bothered or I'm not concerned when it comes to the support and resistances. On the lower time frame, the H1, M30, I overlook them. But when you analyze, that's what you need to analyze from the high time frame for you to get the accuracy. That's it. So on the weekly time frame, you're having this zone. Okay, so the weekly time frame is it's still a downtrend. The weekly time frame is still a downtrend because this candle hasn't closed yet. Unless this candle close and break above this one before the trend would turn towards a downtrend. I hope now the network is good, YouTube, or it's still very bad. The weekly time frame is still a downtrend. The weekly time frame is still a downtrend because this candle. Okay, so since the candle hasn't closed yet, we can't conclude that the trend is an uptrend. Okay, we can't conclude. So let's move to the daily time frame. With the daily time frame, the daily time frame is an uptrend. You get it? So now it's kind of clear. Last week, when we started the week, I was confused because of this small move over here. but now it has been clear that what the daily time frame too is what an uptrend. When this one got broken, you see it has broken it, but not all that clear. But when you use the line chart, I think it can be clear. It's kind of equal highs, but it has been broken. You get it? It has been broken. So you need to pay attention to that. So the daily time frame is what it's an uptrend. Okay. So if it is coming back, if price has broken, if price are broken over here and it is coming down, it is coming down to the nearest support or resistance level or zone. So we are having a support over here. We're having a support over here. So let's move to the daily time frame. So let me plot out the resistance at the daily time frame. So the daily time frame is what? The daily time frame is an uptrend. Okay, so you have to make sure the H42 is in line with what the H4 is giving us. The daily is giving us. So if this one too is pulling back, it is pulling back to the nearest support or resistance level. So this is the nearest support or resistance level. You get it? This is the nearest support or resistance level. So you see price, when price came back, it's retested on it exactly. If you guys can see the wick, so this is the wick. So it's respected the support exactly. So now when it gets to support, you don't have to sell. Okay, price can what? It can bounce back as you are seeing over here. So if you move to the lower time frame, you can see this one is just a bullish candle. So you can see if you move to, you see the bullish candle. So the wick at the lower time frame is what a bullish candle. When you move to what the lower time frame, when you move to the lower time frame like the M30 and M15. So it's very, very important to pay attention to them. So when you move to H1 time frame, the H1 time frame is what? The H1 time frame. So for now, how you are going to, if you want to take a sell, if you want to take a buy for now, unless maybe you wait for the candle to close or you wait for the breakout. So this is what's H4 time frame. So unless maybe you wait for this candle to flip, because the H1 is what? A downtrend. So for you to take a buy, you need to make sure because you are going to focus or base on you are going to base our entry on H1 time frame, not the H4 time frame, because H4 is not giving a confirmation now, and we are not going to take an impulsive trade. You see, some people, when the market gets to a support, they start buying. When it gets to resistance with no confirmation. But for me to take an entry, for me to take a buy on this one, I need to seek confirmation. So what shows price is going to move up? Then I'll move to the lower time frame like H1. I need to make sure H1 has shifted structure. Okay, so now it's currently a downtrend. So I need to see something like this. The structure shift. Then what? I'm going to take a buy. So these are the things that I'm looking for or I'm looking up to. You get it? I need to see something like this. This is the pattern I want to see before I'll take a buy. But for now, since the H4 hasn't closed and H1 too hasn't made that pattern, I'm not going to take the buy. So I like this before I'll take a buy. Okay, so these are the things that I'm going to be looking for. So when you move to M30, still no confirmation. So I'm not going to base on the candle. I have to make sure the M32 is still what? A downtrend. Okay, so if it is making a pullback, it's going to make a pullback. So these are the things. Even though all the time frame, the high time frames are what? Uptrend, but there was no entry. Okay, so unless maybe this one starts flipping close above here before you take a buy, or maybe the H1 candle change structure to what? An uptrend. Okay, the pattern change to an uptrend before I'll take a buy. But for now, no entry yet. You get it? No entry yet. So let me move to GBP USD. So GBP JPY, there was no entry. Let's move to GBP USD. So GBP USD, we have support over here. The reason why we're having the support is because this candle hasn't closed. If it hasn't closed, then what? This support is still valid. Okay, this support is still valid. If it has closed, then what? This candle is going to invalidate this support. But now, since it hasn't closed, it's still valid. We have another support over here. So let's move to the daily time frame. When you move to the weekly time frame, rather, you have the monthly, the weekly, the daily. So on the daily time frame, we're having another support over here. So GBP USD2 is also testing on this support level. You get it? It's also testing on this support level. It is also testing. So the daily time frame is a downtrend. H42 is a downtrend. You get it? H42 is a downtrend, but we don't have clear or clean zones. Okay, the zones are not clean like that. So the person who asks, either the news is going to affect, let me check. We don't have clean zones. You don't have clean zones to take advantage of. Okay, so the only clean zone I think we are having is around this side. So the only clean zone, unless price comes to this side before. So I think if this week, I think NFP is going to give us the gaps that maybe you'll be trading in next week. But for now, there was no clean zones like that. No clean zones. So the only clean zone that I think you can be taking advantage of is when maybe price has broken and closed below this one. Okay, but for the meantime, when you are taking a trade over here, you see, when it comes to the high time frames zones, don't joke with it. It's really going to affect it. You see, now price is retesting on this one. So usually I trade in the high time frame zones. Okay, I trade in the high time frame zone. So currently GBP USD2 does no trade for now. When you move to the lower time frame, because as price has gotten to this one, if you move to the lower time frame and wait for a pullback, you are not going to get a proper place to place your stop loss. Okay, the place to place your stop loss is going to be very difficult because you can't take a buy over here. This time frame is a weak time frame for you to rely on in case maybe you are taking a sell over here. So you need to make sure price has pulled back to a stronger level, a stronger time frame level before you take a decision. So I want to see something like this. Price to the nearest higher time frame zone is what going to be this side. Unless price pull back to this side, unless price pull back to this side, for the meantime you are in the middle of a zone, so you need to wait for price to pull back to this side. You get it? You need to wait for price to pull back to this side before you can take an entry. Wow, the network is very bad. I don't know what to do again. So there's no entry on GBP USD for now. There's no entry to on GBP USD for now. So it's in the middle of a range and you need to wait for the pullback before we can take an entry. So when it comes to GBP JPY, I think that one too has been invalidated. I was projecting this zone, but because of the CHF news, the CHF news has invalidated. Okay, before the CHF news rather, I don't know what happened during the Asian session. It was around pre-lending session that these ones were invalid. These ones were getting filled like that. So now the nearest zone for this GBP card. So let's try and break it down and see what the zone that we can. So it's close to an area of interest. You get it. So when it comes to the monthly time frame, we had this break. Okay, so if price is going, it is moving up like this. It's going to. So this is going to be our support level. Okay. So we have another support over here. We have another support over here. So when you move to the weekly time frame, when you come to the weekly time frame, we have support over here. So as I said earlier, I said because price hasn't broken this one, price hasn't closed, it's still valid. Okay, this support level is still valid. So we have a support over here. So this is the zone. So when you move to the daily time frame, the daily time frame is what? The daily time frame was an uptrend. So the moment this candle broke, the moment this candle broke, it turned to what? There was a change in character. So this break shifted, or this break changed the trend towards a downtrend. So now it's a downtrend. You get it? It's a downtrend. So this is the zone that you are going to take advantage. So price has now got into this weekly resistance. So we are expecting a pullback. In case maybe you are taking a trade on the daily time frame, you will be expecting a pullback on this one before we take a sell. So let's move to the H4. So you see, it's a top-down analysis. I have to make sure I'm getting what is going on in all the higher time frame. So you analyze from the higher time frame and what you bring it to the lower time frame. So we had the resistance to over here. So this is the current zone. Okay, but one thing is price is currently in the middle of a range and we can't take a sell over here. So I don't usually move to the lower time frame for pullback. Maybe if you see a pullback, by all means you see a pullback at the lower time frame, and I will take a trade. Most of the time what I do is what I need to make sure price is on what an area of interest. So the area of interest can be the the higher time frame. So it's either going to price is currently far from the area of interest, and if I say I'm going to take a sell, even though price is going to come head towards the side, okay, I know exactly price is going to head towards the side, but should I buy? Nah, I can't buy, because when in the forex market, when you are making a decision, you need to think twice. You either think about what if price doesn't go as you are projecting. You get it? So you need to factor that decision too into consideration. So now, even though I know price is going to get to this side, but I have to ask myself, where am I going to place my stop loss in case price didn't go as I'm planning, or in case it didn't go as planned? So where I'm going to place my stop loss is going to be around this side. Okay, mostly one thing I've noticed is you need to, if you use the higher time frame, when it comes, so one thing I'm building on is what my entry, because entry is, if you know how to enter the market, if you know where to place your stop loss, that you are not going to be easily, price is not going to easily invalidate your stop loss. It's it's an important skill you need to learn in the forex trading, or you need to learn when you are trading the financial market. You get, it's an important skill. So one thing that I've dedicated my time to master is the entry and where to place my stop loss. So one thing I've noticed is mostly price can easily come and break the lower time frame structures, the H1s and those things. So mostly when I'm taking an entry and placing my stop loss, I usually prefer using the H1 candles and H1 zones. Sorry, the H4 candles and the H1 zone. So now if I'm placing my stop loss, even though no matter what, price is going to get to this side, with that one it's fact, because you have when you come here, you see the zone, you have clean zone, clean zone, clean zone. So this zone is what price is definitely going to what, this place is going to get occupied. But when it comes to placing my stop loss, you get it. When it comes to placing my stop loss, I need to place my stop loss above this one. Or maybe if you want to get aggressive, since you're having weekly resistance over here, H4 resistance over here, because price has broken and closed this one. So if price breaks and close support, it tends to a resistance. So if I'm placing my stop loss, then my stop loss is going to be the weekly zone. So current loss is going to be very wide. So the best way to go by is you wait for a pullback. You wait for a pullback. You can't sell. We can't sell now. Waiting for a pullback on GBP card before we take a sell. I think it has really moved very fast. So you need to wait for the candle. So now this candle that you are seeing, it is not a confirmation candle. Okay, one thing is what, this is an ongoing candle. This is a candle which is in motion, which is a candle which is in session. So one thing is what, it can easily come back again as a wick. Okay, so we can't conclude it has broken it because you have zone over here. So buyers can come in and take over the market. Okay, buyers can come in and take over the market. So as I said, we can't sell now. We buy. We know the target is going to be at this side because we have a strong level over here that price is going to what? It's going to as in restrict price to move further down. But sometimes it can break. But if supposing maybe we took a sell over here, this point is going to be what? Our take profit level. Okay, so I think it's even moving. But it's price. It's if you are taking a sell over here, it's like catching a falling knife. Okay, catching a falling knife. It's not advisable to be taking a sell if price is what, in motion. So you need to wait for price to settle down, breathe, then what, you jump into the trade. But now it's already gone. So the reason why most people lose their investment, especially those who trade or those who invest in the cryptocurrency, or those who trade in what, the crypto market, is because they don't understand how to analyze the market. If you understand, because the moment people will hear price Bitcoin is high, then they start, or maybe they will hear this coin, this digital coin is going to move up. They don't even check the chart to see whether it has already moved. They jump in, because if you start selling over here, price can easily move back. Okay, it's like if trying to, it just FOMO. Okay, it's just trying to catch a falling knife, which is not advisable. So you have to wait for price to settle down to this side before what, you take a buy. That's the best way to go. You get it? That's the best way to go. So GBP card 2, it has taken off. So you are waiting for price to close around the side, and you jump in and take a sell. So let's check Euro USD2 and see. So learning session has opened. Okay, you are in learning session time. So GBP, Euro USD. One thing about Euro USD is what, it consolidates a lot. So if the range is not big, the chances of you not getting. So now I'm very careful when I'm executing. I have to make sure the range is very big. So I think I'm seeing. So with Euro USD, on the monthly time frame, you have a support over here. At the monthly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, there's no support or resistance for the meantime. And again, you have another support at this point. So when you move to the daily time frame, you have some zone for price to fill. So when you get to the H4 time frame, So H4 has, you see the zone has broken and closed. Okay, so this one, if you want to take a sell, I think you can get a sell. Let's check the H4 trend, H1 trend. So H1 is giving a clean zone. But the way this candle close, so let's move to, so H1 is what? A downtrend. Let's move to H1, M30. Okay, so if you want to take a sell, I think the best way we can do is wait for this candle to close, the 30-minute candle to close. Let me see where we can place our stop loss. So the stop loss, let me see the daily, clean zone, the daily. Because the daily time frame is what? I think you can get a sell on Euro US. The daily time frame is a downtrend. H4 is a downtrend. H4 is a downtrend, right? So we need to wait, because when you look left, H12 is giving a clean zone. I think you can get an entry over here. So H12 is giving a clean zone, but the only thing is how this candle close. Okay, so we need to make sure we are placing our stop loss. But one thing I'm confused on is what? The way this candle has broken this one at the same time broken this one. So it's kind of, we are having indecision in the market. But let's see how the 30-minute candle is going to close. The 30-minute candle is going to close. So if the 30-minute candle close bearish, it is going to give us a confirmation. But I'm checking the stop loss. Where we are going to place the stop loss is going to be very difficult. Let me check the zone. 19 to 20 pips. The stop loss, placing it over here is going. So let's see. So if this candle closes bearish in the next 22 minutes, we might be taking a sell. Okay, we might be taking a sell. So let's wait for the candle to close. Let's wait for the candle to close. If the candle close bearish, you take a sell. Let me check GBP USD. Does it also have a zone to get filled? Okay, GBP USD has got into this strong daily zone, because mostly they move together. So if you're analyzing it, you need to see the other what is going on at the other side too. So this one has gotten to a strong zone. It has gotten to a strong zone and it is rejecting to buy. But it is in a downtrend, it is selling. So let me push it up, since it is the pair that you are looking at. So let's see how the 30-minute candle is going to close. Let me check M15 whether there has been a shift in structure. So if this candle close bearish, but if it closed bearish, you might be taking a sell for this zone to get filled. So this point is going to be the target. So let's wait for the closure. Let's wait for the closure of the candle, because M30 is looking good. M30 is looking good.
I took it around 5 o'clock and I just closed it because of the news.
You close it?
Yeah. Like that was when I was asking if the news will affect that euro. The euro USD. I say yes. Yeah.
So did you see any impact?
Yes.
Yeah,
the bearish candle on the H1. No.
Yeah.
That's a 3630 candle. Yeah, the bearish candle.
So I'm waiting for, but I want to.
Sorry, the bullish candle rather. The bullish candle.
Mm, so the stop loss will be maybe the nearest. The stop loss might be around the side. So you are waiting for the 30-minute candle to close. Then you take a sell. If it's closed bearish, then you will take a sell. But usually, when it comes to Euro USD, the way it respects the H1 zone, like H1 zones. So you close it at a break even, or okay. So when it's okay, so the 5 o'clock candle, this one, right? You took it around the side. So the new spot everything.
Yeah. Mm,
So it moves small.
yeah, I've got about some 8 pips.
Um. So let's see how it's going to close. But one thing too is GBP USD has gotten to a strong zone, which is rejecting. It has gotten to a strong zone. So since they move together, but let's see. Let's wait for the break because you are in volume time, and if it closes like this, so I'm sure it's because of the news. The news is what made the candle broke above this one. It was the news. You see how it is rejecting. This is the weekly. This is a weekly support. So that's why it is rejecting it. That's why it's getting rejected like that. And then at the same time, monthly too. Dip has been broken. Get it. So additional confirmation. H1 is a downtrend. H1 close. So I'm expecting this one should close a strong bearish candle. If it closes a strong bearish candle, then I think we can take a sell. It needs to close a strong bearish candle. So we have this daily time frame, H4 time frame. H1. Wow. If you don't, so you see the zone, you see the weekly zone at this zone. Was it the monthly or the weekly? The weekly. So let's see how the 30-minute candle is closed. But I want to see a strong, yeah. So let me check the 15 minutes. So I want to see a strong bearish candle, something like this. A strong bearish candle. then we take it back. But one thing is what, if you are doing our correlation, PUSD has gotten to a strong level, so the chances of price moving up is very high. Because if you watch GBP USD, I don't see the chances of it moving down because of the zone around this side. So since Euro USD and GBP USD mostly move together, we need to be very careful with the entry, because it's an additional confirmation. You get it? So it's an additional confirmation. You need to be very, very careful. So sometimes maybe for an extra confirmation, I might even wait for the H1 to close, because I don't see what do you call it, the GBP. I don't see GBP USD to be moving down. And if you are not careful, it might fake you out. So let's see how the 30-minute candle. If I'm not convinced with the way 30-minute candle has closed, then I might be waiting for the H1 to close to give me further confirmation. Okay, because if you watch the 30 minutes, the 30 minutes is what, an uptrend. The trend is up. Okay, but I wanted to take it because of what? So maybe let's see how it will close. Let's see how it is going to close. So the stop loss, the way the candle to the H1 candle broke above this one, the bullish candle has broken and closed above this one. That's why I was saying, if maybe it's retested on this one, I would have taken the idea of taking this one. But the H1, I might, let's see how the 30-minute candle is going to close. So if the 30-minute candle close, so let's wait for the closure of the 30 minutes, because H1 is a downtrend, but the only problem is what, this candle broke above the zone. You're supposed to retest it like this. You get it? The body has broken above, so the body should have retested on. The body should have retested on this one. Then the next candle, this one, will start flipping. So that will be a strong confirmation. But most of the times, and you see sometimes to the H1 candle, it's kind of strong, not by H1 candle too. So since H1 has broken above this one, the chances of price moving up is very high. You get it? So that's why I was even saying I have to wait for the M30 to close. So when it comes to entry, there are many things that you need to factor into. You don't just wake up and, so anytime that I'm placing a sell, that means what, there's confirmation. I've looked at many things, consider many things. I don't just place a trade. You get it? I don't just place a trade. I need to factor what is going on in all the high time frames. So this one, for me to enter a sell, I will rather wait for the H1 to close, because if the H1 break above this one, then it is now confirmed that it can take off. But now H1 is what, the H1 candle has broken above this zone. You get this zone. This zone is what, weekly zone. A weekly, now since the candle has broken above, it is now weekly support. Okay, it's now weekly support. So you don't just enter based on, if it's close below this one, as I'm saying, then I would have use the idea of what waiting for the M30 to close bearish, then I'll take a sell. But now since the H1 broke above the zone, and you know, anytime you are taking a decision, we wait for the candle to break above the zone. If it breaks and close, that's why mostly we say you need to wait for a candle to close. So if the candle break above the zone, then we can be taking a buy. But this moment, since the candle broke above, then I have to wait for the next candle to break within the zone. Okay, so of using the 30 minutes won't work. We are rather going to, even if it flips bearish, we are not going to take the sell because the H1 broke above. So maybe it might be a pullback at the lower time frame, then it will start buying. So for us to get a conclusion or confirmation, we need to wait for the H1 to close, the H1 candle to close something like this. If the H1 candle close, I was expecting it to make something like this. This is what I'm expecting. So if it's close something like this, then okay, this is what I'm expecting. So you see, sometimes the correlation to also work. So as I said, GBP has got into a strong zone. So you see how powerful the zone that I've been drawing is. I hope you guys have been seeing. So you don't need to complicate things for you to know the zones. It's very, very simple. You see price rate tested on the zone exactly. I hope you guys are seeing it. It's rate tested on the zone exactly. You get it? It's rate tested on the zone exactly. So that's why I was not convinced on the Euro USD. So, but mostly they move together. So I have to get a strong confirmation before I'll be convinced to take the sell. So now I'm waiting for the I'm now waiting for the H1 to close. I'll wait for the H1 to close. So in the next 7 minutes, this candle is really tempting me. I'm going to wait for the H1 candle, and yeah, I'm going to wait for the H1 to close. Okay, if the H1 close bearish, then I'll take a sell. But for the meantime, I'm just going to observe and wait for. Let's see, in the next 7 minutes, we are going to be seeing the closure of the 30-minute candle. Okay, so you just have to so you see now the 30 minutes, it's what, an uptrend. You get it? The 30 minutes is an uptrend. So if you can see, let me see whether I will be having an example of something like that sort. So GBP JPY, the last trade we saw on GBP JPY. So this one, for instance, let me give you the example of what I'm looking for. I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, this one. So when it comes to this one, for instance, you see, as the H1 rate tested, if you move to the H1 time frame, if you move to the H1 time frame, so it's because the H1 time frame is what? The H1 time frame was a downtrend. So those times, the daily time frame. Okay, so we were not having any zone over here at the daily time frame. So the only zone that you were having is around the side, which was this one. So when you move to the H1, yeah, so I think it's rate tested on it exactly. Let me remove this one. Yeah, You get it? It's the candle rate tested on the support level exactly. Okay, so if you are taking a buy, then you know what, the candle didn't break below. Okay, so that's why I used the 30 minutes. When the 30 minutes broke above, I said we can be taking a sell. This one you can be taking a sell, even though the 30 minutes is a downtrend. But because the H1, so the confirmation is going to be on what? The H1 time frame. The confirmation is going to be on the H1 time frame. So you place your stop loss over here. You get it. So that's how it works. But when you check Euro USD, the H1 candle broke above, you would have taken the sell. So the 30-minute candle is kind of closing in the next 4 minutes. So let's wait for the 30 minutes. But for me, I would prefer waiting for the H1 to close. Okay. So when the H1 close, then the entry will be taken on what? The H1. So the entry will be taken on H1. So when the H1 close, then you place a sell. So let's wait for the. I think we can get. So today, at what time are you having the news? 12:30. You're having unemployment claims. What are they expecting? They're expecting high numbers. So if they're expecting high numbers, they're expecting higher numbers. So they're expecting buy on GBP USD. They're expecting the number. They're expecting the dollar to be what? To be weak. And at the same time, we're having this. This is also one high impact news. The service PMI is also one high impact news, which is all about. So that means the dollar is going to be strong, and at this point, the dollar is going to be weak. So mix data over there. So when it comes to entry today, you need to be very, very, very careful. You don't have to just enter left, right, center. So the 30 minutes closing in the next 2 minutes. Let's see how it closes. If it closes above this one, then so in the next 1 minute, a few minutes to come. So as you see, if the strong time frame get broken, the chances of price getting, so support and resistance. One thing you have to notice, what with support and resistance, if a candle break and close, especially if a candle breaks and close, you need to expect what? Price to come in to the next zone. Okay, price to come to the next zone. So you need to pay attention to them. So I'm not going to take a buy because it has got into this side. The reason is what? The daily is a downtrend. The daily is a downtrend. H4 is what? A downtrend. Broken. The H4 candle has broken. The H1 is what? A downtrend. So why should I go and take a buy? Okay, I'm not going to take a buy because it has got into this zone. I'm going to wait for the candle to what? I'm now waiting for a confirmation for a sell. But before I wait for the so I think the 30 minutes has broken below. Wow. So in the next 19 seconds, 18 seconds, the candle has broken below. Okay, so even though it has broken below, I would prefer waiting for the 30-minute H1 candle to close. Okay, I would prefer waiting for the H1. So I'm not going to take a sell. I would rather prefer the H1 to close to get an extra confirmation. To get an extra confirmation. So you see, most of the times to 8 o'clock AM GMT, we have volume in the market. So if the H1 close like this, then I think we are going to be having extra confirmation. So if I were supposed to take a sell, I'm going to take a sell at the flip of this candle. Then I'll take a sell. Then I'll take, if H1 closed very well, I would have taken a sell around the side. By the way, the H1 candle, I have to wait to see how the H1 is going to close, because this candle broke above this one. So the next candle too, if I'm taking a sell, one strong confirmation, then I need to wait for the candle to break below. Okay, I need to wait for the candle to break below before I'll take a sell. So I think if the H1 even close this thing, it's going to align with what M30 is going to give us, maybe double top. Okay, if you wait for H1 to close, then it's going to be something. So you are going to wait for the H1 to close bearish. If the H1 close bearish, then you are going to get a structure at the M30. So the entry is going to be on M30. By the confirmation is going to be on what? H1. So on YouTube, is the network now okay? Is it stable now, or still does some breakages? Hmm. So the GBP USD. Okay, so GBP USD2 is trying to break. GBP USD2 is trying to break. So I think now the confirmation is going to be strong with the correlation we did. We have a lot of time, and are we going to miss it, or as we are waiting for an extra confirmation? Let me open another tab for trading. So if it's closed bullish, the flip, maybe we take the sell around the side. That's when it has flipped. Like, I want to be checking it with GBP USD. So we are going to get confirmation too from GBP USD. If GBP USD also closed below this one, okay, if GBP USD closed below this one, if GBP USD also closed below this one, then we will get an extra confirmation. So we'll be checking them together. But we have a lot of time. We still have time. I think 24 minutes. So let's see. So let's see what is going to happen. So GBP USD is breaking. Wow. So that's why I'm saying I don't. GBP USD closed below this one. So we have a lot of time. We have a lot of time that is going to make us miss the trade. If not, this candle broke above this one, I would have used the 30 minutes. Take a sell around the side at a flip. When it's put back at a flip, flipping bearish, then I would have taken a sell. So you see, you have to follow the trend. It's very, very important. You need to follow the trend. So GBP USD is also struggling, but it looks like it wants to break. Are we going to miss it or? So let's still wait. Let's still wait for the closure. Let's wait. So I think if let me check the left and see something. So if the MH1 close above this zone, then I think you will get an extra confirmation from Euro USD about the downtrend. So it's still important to wait. So GBP USD is really struggling because higher time frame zones, you don't have to play with them. It's really going to struggle to it's really going to struggle to break it. You get it? So in the next 20 minutes, so I'll start preparing in the next one. I would have taken a sell. I would have taken a sell if this candle closed below. By the way, it's closed above. I wanted H1 for confirmation. That's why I didn't want to take a sell. I would have taken a sell around this side. I would have taken a sell around this side. But because how the H1 candle close, I didn't want to. So I rather prefer waiting for the H1 to close. which it's looking like I'm already missing the move. It looks like I'm already missing the move. So you see, this is the best way to learn how to trade. It's not like someone giving you a course, you just go through and you are done. You see, you are watching how I'm being patient, waiting for things to align and those stuffs. You get it? That's the best way to learn how to trade. You want to learn how to trade, watch how people are trading. Those who trade live, watch how they do, how their composure on the chart and those stuffs. So that's the best way to learn how to trade. So if it looks like you've already missed the trade. It's moved like 3 pips. Crazy. So trading is kind of waiting, kind of very difficult. Very, very difficult. Everything was okay. You get it? Everything was okay. But this one, the brick above this. Wow. Yeah, the market trading is not easy. Oh. It is not easy in the sense of the waiting. You see, you guys saw I was talking about this I was talking about this but because of one or two things it is not aligned. I need to let it go. That's how it works. So it's like you being with the with the lady that you love, and later the lady will tell you, oh, she's not interested in you anymore. You can't do anything about it. You just have to let her go. You get it? If a lady tells you she's now not comfortable staying with you, you have to let it. It's the same thing in trading. You have to let it go. You get small broken heart, but you have to let her go. You
Yes,
can't
sir.
force her to love you. So it's the same thing. You see, because this candle close above, this candle close above this one. The body of the candle close. If it were to be the wick, if it were to be like something like this, if it were to be like something, so we are learning. Oh, it's not about taking trace. It's about learning. If it were to be like this, if it were to be like this, If the candle closed like this, you see, if the body closed below, by now the body closed above the zone. You get it? The body closed above the zone. I would have taken I would have taken a buy. I would have taken a sell at the 30 minutes. But now the candle closed above. You get it? The candle closed above. So if I entered over here by now, because of these zones, I would have maybe break even. But the target is around the side. But because of this zone, okay, mostly GBP Euro USD respects the H1 zone. So I would have bring my stop to break even. Go to this side. But the target is going to be at this level. So it's okay to miss a trade. It's okay. It's always good to respect your trading plan. So the GBP JPY trade this done like this. The reason why I was saying it is if you check the daily time frame, is it at this level? Okay. If you check the daily time frame, the daily broke above. If you watch the H4, yeah, you see the H4 broke above. If you check the H1, where was it? Was it at, yeah, this line? You see, it's retested. This candle retested the zone. This candle it didn't. The body didn't close below. The body retested the zone. The body didn't close. You get it? So that's why I was saying it was a good buy. But this one, the H4 broke above. Sorry, the H4 broke above, so it wasn't a good idea to take a sell. Initially, I was planning of taking the sell, but because the body broke above, I would rather prefer the body to also close within. Okay, the body to close within. So if you are in the trade and you entered, I think you have to break even and allow it to get to the target, because when it talks about Euro USD, it's easily to what? It's easily to come back to your stop or come back to your entry again. So it's really respect the H, but the target is going to be around this side. This is where I wanted. This was the target. Okay. So sometimes price action won't be clear. It's okay. I'm not rushing the process since I have the concept. I would rather go. No matter what, I'm going to get a setup that is going to align with the way I trade. Okay. So I'm never pressured. I really love when I even see it. The moves that you are missing are all money. You get it again, no matter what, you get it again. So today to another skeptical trade miss. Or Brenny, you think you should have taken the sell?
No,
Why?
like waiting for the H1 candle to
Yeah, because
close
this
because
candle, the body of the candle broke
yeah,
above.
can,
So if the body
yeah,
has broken
and
above, you're expecting it to come to this side. Yeah,
yeah,
you were saying
and
something.
that's when it's a very strong zone. When
Yeah,
I was like drawing my support and resistance, I think I had two supports on that zone. I don't know.
yeah, them to support on
Mm,
that.
yeah, so it's a very strong zone. So
Yeah, yeah, that was on. So it was on monthly.
weekly,
Yeah, it was on monthly and weekly. It was on
weekly,
monthly. Yeah,
exactly.
true. It was on monthly and weekly.
Mm,
So it's okay. It's okay. Let's
yeah,
see.
it's okay.
But if the H1 candle to also close, taking a sell, your stop loss
But that
supposed to be around this side, which so you're going to be in a spike. Will you prefer taking the sell if the H1 close, or it's too low?
When it's close above
this one.
Yes.
You prefer taking a sell over here? Price is too high for me.
I prefer to take it.
Price is too low for me. Like you'll be in drawdown for in case maybe price starts retracing. I'm going to be in drawdown. You know, no matter what, sometimes you'll be in drawdown. It's not your fault. It's how the market behaves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The perfect entry. Yeah, the perfect entry would have been around the side. That's the in case if the H1 close above below, then the perfect entry would have been here. But since
okay,
so let's see, let me check it. So the H1, this one too is closing below. So maybe it's giving a pullback. Euro USD kind of consolidate.
I'm trying to not like it grinding.
I think the pound pairs are the best. The euro pairs doesn't trend like that. It trend and it will consolidate. So I ignore it some time ago. It trends sometime and it will consolidate, it will trend. But when you get the pound, Charlie.
Pound focus is on GBP JPY. Charlie, that very crazy. I tell you.
Money day inside.
The money
so I entered some small position the other time. Hey, all of a sudden, Charlie, the dollars I was seeing, I said, then those times I wasn't paying attention to it.
Money day inside.
By this week, it was only the Asian session. It hasn't given any better confirmation.
So for the past 2 weeks or so days, not did the
okay, so you got one trade on Monday. So I think now we have to before I will try and be analyzing the GBP JPY before I will put it in the group. In case maybe
because on Monday I had a trade on it then. And but during the exchange session, I should have taken a trade back.
Yeah, this move.
Yeah,
it's really
very but no stress, nothing. I tell you, this man.
So the stop loss would have been in 2 ways. It's either you place it on the H1 structure. You see the H1 made a retest. So your stop loss would have been either here, this structure level, or it would have been the H1, which the safer way. So the H1 structure level is going to be the wick of the ongoing candle, or the safer side would have been this one. But this stop loss is going to give you a move back again. It was a nice setup.
So I was focused on the H4 to get a good standing stop loss. So like, and when the candle was moving, I can't put the stop loss. So I was waiting for it to close the H4.
Why the candle moved very fast then?
Yes.
It didn't wake down before moving up.
No.
Okay. I thought maybe we had some wake down before it started moving up. Someone is asking, are you still live? Yeah, we are still live. The person is in different world. Yeah, so the entry was on H1, H4. The entry was on H4. This side. The extra confirmation is going to be on the M30.
Okay. Like mentor, like when a candle is the body, can you enter a trade or unless the week?
You can enter. But you have to make sure the previous candle body that you are going to base on is what has broken in close above. If the previous candle has broken up in close above the zone, like this one, you can enter based on what if the candle. That's what I'm saying. The dynamic risk, you can enter based on. But if maybe you go to the lower time frame, you get it. So if this candle has broken in close like this, that's why I went to the lower time. If you go to the lower time frame, okay, now there's no entry over here. But if you go to M30, you get entry. This bullish candle, you see nice confirmation. M30 is what also an uptrend, broke, retested exactly on it, gave a bullish candle. So sometimes it's not like I don't want to trade though. This one like this, you see, sometimes sometimes when I see a trade, I execute. But sometimes too, some trades are not clear, but I want to take. You get it. Some trades you will not even this trade like this. I wouldn't, because of my experience, I will not even think many times for me to execute this trade. I will not think. But some trades are very sketchy. It's not appropriate. They are sketchy. Okay, so it's not like I don't want to take trades. So if I see perfect this one, if I see it on the stream, I don't care either I'm going to lose or I'm going to win. I'm going to execute it. Okay, you guys have been witnessing.
When I saw this,
yeah,
when I saw this, I was waiting for it to break the wick. So I was afraid to enter when it broke the body.
Okay, so you would have taken the wick is going to be two. Okay, the wick is going to align with the 30 minutes like this. How the 30 minutes? So if you watch, so let's start from the daily time frame. The reason why mostly we analyze past trade is for us to get an experience if it happens again. So the daily time frame was an uptrend. H1 was an uptrend. You get it? H1 was an uptrend. Clean zone. So this is the target. This is going to be the target. Very short zone. So the end H4 gave an entry. You get it? The H4 candle broke above what? A higher time frame candle breaking above what? A higher time frame zone, the daily time frame. So usually when it comes to zone confirmations, I usually use the H4. So the H4 candle has broken above and H4 has broken and close above. Okay. The H4 has broken above and close. So the entry could have been the break of the wick. But since it has broken above, you can be taking an aggressive trace. But your stop loss is going to be below the previous candle because as it has broken above, as I was saying in the previous, the Euro USD, I was saying since the candle has broken above, I'm thinking it's going to move up. Okay, so if you don't want to take it here, then you can still be going to the lower time frame. Let's see the H1. H1 was in an uptrend, broke, created this bearish candle, made a retracement. What are you expecting? Trend contact. H1 is not giving you. There's no entry on H1. You get it? There's no entry on H1. Since the focus is on what? H1, H4. Since the focus is on H4, these zones you are not going to consider them because the target H4 is what is giving us the zone, not H1. Okay. So but we just want an entry. So the entry will be this one too was a clear break, retested. An uptrend. Okay, so it's going to be very difficult for it to sell. So the entry is going to be the break, either the break of the H4 wick or maybe the break of the M30 wick. Mostly the wicks, as I said, the candle of confirmation. Candles usually what?
Okay.
The wick usually gives what? The for candle. So this is a perfect confirmation. But it's the same thing happening. It's the same thing happening on Euro. That happened on the H1 has closed. The H1 has closed. Let me check Euro USD. GBP USD. So GBP USD to the H1 has broken above. I think I should have. I'm coming. I want to check it. So this zone. So I will be taking a sell. Okay, but the stop loss. The stop loss is what is going to be very difficult. The stop loss is what is going to be very difficult. So I'm taking a sell. But the stop loss, so we are even late to the entry. Wow. Price has even put because of the token. I didn't get the right price. Because of the token. Wow. I've not entered it yet. The idea, the price. I want it to pull back small. I want it to pull back small. So this was the point, not the token. This was the point you have. I've not entered. Who is calling? Hello. Morning. Oh, don't worry. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Me currently me yeah the memory and I'm sure. My sure back. I didn't. I've I've not entered because I didn't get the right price. I wanted to enter around the side. I didn't. Why did you enter? I wanted it to pull back. I want to see a
Pulling
pull.
back.
No, it's not pull. Okay. Dented talks. Dented talks has made me miss it. Sometimes the stop loss it's going to the stop loss is what is going to help you determine your loss size. So the stop loss would have been like say 10 pips. Using 10 pips. I'm still not in. I wanted to see a pullback. I wanted to see a pullback. Then. want to see a pullback. Pull back to that level that I wanted to enter. So when it comes to Euro USD, you need your stop loss needs to. Okay, so I think where the stop loss is kind of safe. Okay, I think I can place my stop. So I've entered. I've now entered. So the stop loss is at the previous candle. Because the GBP USD has broken below. It's moving very fast.
Yes. Okay, Martin.
The daily time frame is a downtrend. H4 is a downtrend. We have a clean zone to this side. H1 candle has broken below, confirming the downtrend. So we have enough confirmation. You get it? We have enough confirmation, so just see what's going to happen. So the risk to reward is going to be 1 to 7. That's the risk to reward. But Euro USD is very stubborn. That pair. If I lose this trade, I'm not going to trade it again.
I useless pay. The bomb you are.
If I lose this trade, I'm not going to be trading Euro USD again. See how the pound dollar is trending. The zone has even almost filled. Wow. So if the zone gets filled, then maybe Euro USD will buy. If this zone, because it is getting to this getting to a weekly zone. It's one annoying pair, Euro USD. So the H1, the M30 week, the M30 week has been broken. The M30 week has been broken.
So when meaning the stop loss is at the get deep of the H4.
Yeah, when it breaks its own high, which I'm very sure it will. Wow. Stop. You chop.
Yeah,
You just stop loss first. So the H1, if the H1 breaks its own high, if it breaks its own high, then
oh yes, imagining some video. You will have time. So go to the stop. You were shouting.
Oh, I forgot to set stop loss.
No. I'm set it, but like he's praying very hard, not like
the market's not hit stop loss.
Yeah. Love it not stop. Right, it's like
if it will hit, price doesn't work in trading now. If it works in the anchor, the pastors will be.
And the pastors will be cashing out.
Yeah, they will fast. You just learn how to do it, and because losses too are inevitable. You can't. Sometimes you just need to let it go, Charlie.
Yeah, let's be this.
But I have high success rates on the pound dollar than if I chop stop loss this per day, I will just delete it from my watch list. Like it.
But we don't go chop stop loss, you bastard. Yeah, but we did it too.
It's really consolidated. See how the pound dollar really moves very smoothly.
No pressure, yeah.
See how
there's a free zone for it to like flow back.
See how it's really moved very smoothly. But Euro USD, even if it has a clean zone, it will consolidate before it will take off. Someone's two favorite spell. So if this one breaks its own high, now the zone is like kind of breaking. So if it breaks its own high, then stop loss go chop. You go chop stop loss. NFP week.
Oh, Charlie.
It will surely hit stop loss. So So the stop loss is at the previous candle if it breaks its own high. By the way it's going there, it will move up.
Definitely.
It will surely. Stop loss. Stop loss. Hit. So I think because of the zone is really holding it. So that's why it's always important to place your stop loss at a safer side.
Safer place.
It's not about it being getting good risk to reward. It's about placing it at a safer side. So that even if you price go come, it's really going to take a long time. Imagine you place it at this M30. It would have stopped out by now. So we took a sell on Euro USD. We took a sell on Euro USD, but the skirmishes. Please, can we explain that part as again? Which part? How to do analysis on H4 time frame? The M15, the M15 is flipping. Stop loss go hit. Stop loss will hit. Because this one has broken. So the chances of it hitting stop loss is very high. If this trade moves against me, Euro USD, that's your last. I'm removing you. I'm removing you to focus on my pound pairs. So pairs like with this one like this, I didn't take it on my funding account. So I just took it on my personal account because I know what it can do. I know what this pair can do.
That's crazy.
So the M15 has broken above the H1. Everything is pointing down. Everything is pointing down, but the H1 has broken this one, broken this one. Still have zone. Still have enough zone. Still have enough zone for price to get filled. You see, the pound dollar has gotten to there. You see, so the chances of Euro USD moving up is very high because now the pound dollar has hit the weekly zone. Yes, definitely we go chop stop loss. Definitely, because where price is heading now, we go chop stop loss. But the H1 has broken. The H1 has broken. Oh, it will move. It will move. Hey! Left like one pip to hit. It's left with one pip for it to hit stop loss. It's left with one pip. It will hit. It will hit. Oh, what? Left to like few pips. Oh, stop loss hits. Stop loss hits. You lost a trade. You lost a trade. So why did we lose the trade? Why did we lose? Everything was according to yeah, so it's part of the game because the daily time frame you had a clean zone for it to fill. If you move to the H4 we had a clean zone, but one thing about the H4 is what it broke the high and it broke the dip. That's why mostly I avoid those things when it happens, but that's not the reason, because we got a confirmation. We had a confirmation over here. We had a confirmation. We had a confirmation, so it's I don't see why this thing. I don't know where we made a mistake. So with this one like this, it's market this thing. It's market dynamics. Oh, you see something wrong with why it went against us?
No.
Because all the time frame. That's why I even waited. This one has broken above. It has closed. The H1 is what Each one is a downtrend. It has broken above. This pair itself is not a profitable pair. Yeah, I think I have to get rid of it. I've gotten rid of it. I'm rid of it.
Yes. USD is selling. But it's have gotten to the weekly resistance, not support.
Yeah. Confirmation was when I was thinking this one broke, but this one was slow, reserved to wait for the buy. So since it's moved together, it's going to. I was thinking it's going to go. So it's so you see when it happens like that, you don't have to be trying to get your money back. Nah, if you do that, you're rather going to lose more. Oh yeah, is this most of the times when you lose, as you try to, oh, I want to make my money back. I want to make my money back. Nah, if you want to make your money back, then you are going to rather lose more. You have to wait for an extra confirmation. You get it?
Yeah.
You need to wait for you need to wait for price to settle down to the way you trade before. So I'm thinking we are now having a zone. If the H4 candle breaks below this one, we are having a zone over here. But the stop loss is going to be very wide. So the H1 is giving a clean zone. So pair like Euro USD and USD JPY, it's one annoying pair. It's one annoying pair. Mostly my profitability on GBP USD is kind of insane. But mostly waiting for it to align, be patient and wait for the right time. Or you decide to add more pairs. You decide to add more pairs. Euro USD itself is annoying. That pair is annoying. Yeah, so I think there was nothing. So you have to relax. Okay, if you lose a trade, it's part of the game. Don't force yourself to get your money back. That's why most people lose more than what they're expecting. You have lost the trade. If there's nothing up to the New York session, if there was nothing, because we are going to be having news event to 12:30, 2 p.m. We are going to be having news event. So if it happens like that, you have to wait for the appropriate setup again before you enter. You get it? Don't try to you want to make your money back. You want to make your money back. That's not how trading works. Losses are part of the game. There's no one who is going to say he doesn't lose. Losses, no matter what, you are going to lose in the market. So that's the nature of the game. So you need to make sure you understand why you lost. You learn from it and you move on. Okay, you learn from it and you move on. So don't try to make your money back. If you try to make your money back, you are going to lose more than. So for me, for instance, I'm going to wait. If I don't get set up today, tomorrow I don't get, that means what I had only one trade this week and I've lost the trade. I'll come again next week. They give if you can't withstand pain, then you can't trade.
But JPOP has I'm okay.
Why you are seeing some setup?
Oh yeah.
Okay, maybe this one will.
No, it's not really, but
if this one close like this,
close. Test on this.
Yeah, this one.
So when it's close, it's always there. Yeah. So that will take a buy.
But we're having news events. So are you not sure? Maybe the news event is going to spoil everything. Might spoil everything. Okay. Yeah.
Let's watch.
The news event might spoil everything. But let's see. Yeah. So as I said, you need to wait for the right setup before. Don't rush to get your money back. Euro USD is annoying. That's the thing. Euro USD is Euro USD USD JPY. USD JPY is a pair I will never trade. See how it moves. Which Euro USD? Not you. It's because of you that I will last time we had. Now I'm talking of Euro USD. Euro USD, I mean, it has rewarded you before. You don't usually. It hasn't rewarded you before.
Oh yeah. Oh, even I took profit this money. I took profit even this money. So just to be active back. Yeah.
We had a zone. So you remember I said it really respects the H1 zones. It really respects the H1 zones.
Yes, exactly.
So the zone was very small. I wish you elaborate us on how.
Okay.
How enter.
I got it.
They take profit and stop loss on the Xness app. Wow. The Xness app. You need to link your trading account to your MetaTrader 5. So Jacob, you need to link your trading account, your broker account details to the MetaTrader 5. Okay, you need to link it to your MetaTrader. So trading, if you take losses personal, you are going to be depressed every day. You don't have to take losses personal. You just have to learn from it and move on. So you just remove the things that is not giving. But one thing is what, even if you remove those things, one day, because of human emotion, you go back and bring it again. This thing, I removed this pair. I removed it long time, and you back again. For looking above.
Influencer step boy, so this one here.
right. So now, which even New York session, we are having many news. So I think maybe I'm not going to trade again. Around 12:30, you having around 12:30, you're having unemployment claims, and around 2 p.m. we're having what ISM. So I don't think I'll even be trading again. So 2 p.m. So 12. Okay, maybe within the 12:30 to before within that. Yeah. So we're having a lot of news events today. We're having a lot of news events. So this month we chop one stop loss for the week. So you will get it back. You will get. They are just they are just keeping our money for us. You will definitely get it back. You will definitely get it back. So Jacob Opara, I wish you could elaborate on us on how they take profit and stop loss on Xnet. So you don't trade, you don't execute on Xnet accounts. What is he saying? What is very fun? There you go back and bring it again. Oh yeah. That's what I've noticed about trading. Your bad habit, you stop it for some time, and later after the pain is gone, you go back and bring the bad habits again. After getting some wins, you feel very confident about it, and you go and bring it back again. But this one, they're gone and will never be remembered. USD gone and will never be remembered. So if you replace it with GBP, yeah, so it's part of the game. Okay, don't take losses personal. Just move on. So that's why I always advise you don't take trading as your sole source of income. You get it? That's the advice I usually give. Don't take trading as your source of trading is a business. It's part of one of your businesses. Okay. So don't take it as your sole source of income. It doesn't work that way. Trading shouldn't be your sole source of income. That's how it works. So you need to get extra sources of income. I've seen running businesses and other stuff. Yeah. You have something that is also going to provide for you. So you are not going to be. But if you rely solely on it, you are going to be depressed and other stuff. So my advice is to not take trading as your sole source of income. It shouldn't be your sole source of, but that doesn't mean you have to stop. Nah, trading losses are part, but your reward is going to be bigger than the losses. Okay, if you are doing the right thing, your reward is going to be bigger. No one, even those the hedge fund, the Wall Street, those who trade on the Wall Street, no one is not like experiencing losses. They all experiencing losses, but they know how to manage their risks. If they are winning, they will be bigger than their losses. That's how it works. Okay, so that's why I taught you how to the risk management. When you start an account, you need to understand your risk should be consistent. So this one, like as you've lost a trade, tomorrow you win, you use the same like risk. This thing, when you use the same risk parameter, or how should I even put? When you use the same risk as you risk on this trade, you are going to get your money back. But if because you've lost, you are going to reduce your risk. If you gain, there's no way you'll be able to get it back. You get it? There's no way you'll be able to get it back. So that's how it works. So you have to maintain or keep your risks at the same level. Okay, keep your risks at the same level. So learn how to set stop loss and those things, so that when the trade is moving against you, you will not lose a trade. Okay, you will not lose a trade. So maybe we are waiting for now. Maybe I'll be watching the GBP for the H4 candle to close. So the 9 o'clock candle is going to close around this side. Structure, okay, a market structure that is going to move up. So that's what you are going to be waiting for, GBP JPY. So I'll be watching this first. By now, GBP USD is always going to be my favorite. But GBP JPY, to observing it, you'll be trading it. If you get opportunity, you'll be trading it. Okay, since you have the strategy, you'll be applying it. Okay. But for now, my favorite so far, GBP USD, my win rate on GBP USD is insane. So that's why mostly on my Profem accounts, I usually execute it on. I usually use GBP USD to execute. Like I execute most of my trades on, like, I execute trades on what, GBP USD. I don't execute it on my Profem, like on my this thing. GBP USD, I execute it on my Profem account, and the win rate is high. So currently I'm close to like 2%. It left it. I just need one high quality trade. So now that H4 is closing below this one. So if it's closed below this one, it's not good to take the breakout because the stop loss is going to be very wide. Okay, so you need to wait for a pullback. Then we enter the sell. So does it mean Euro USD2 is selling or what? He decided to stop us out. So you see the fucking thing about this. So it's trying to sell. Yeah, so if the H4 break above this one, below this one, it's not advisable to be taking a sell because where to place a stop loss is going to be very difficult. Okay, the stop loss is going to be very, very difficult. So you need to wait for a pullback, then you enter a sell. Okay, then you enter a sell. So it decided to. I don't see the reason why this pair, the daily broke, H4 broke. The only thing that I would say maybe I didn't respect my rule is what, the H4 break above and below, but with that one, that thing is not an excuse. The H1 broke close below the flip of the candle. So GBP USD is gone and forgotten. Okay, so thank you. You come again tomorrow. Okay, you will come again tomorrow, same time. All right, thank you. Don't take losses personal. Okay, don't take losses personal. In everything in life, you experience some downtimes. You get it. You experience some downtime. So in business, sometimes business will be slow. If you are womanizing, sometimes women will reject you. So it's part of the game. All right. So don't take losses personal. We all chop loss. So today we chop loss. Tomorrow you come again. Maybe we'll get it tomorrow. All right. So thank you, Bernie. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining today. Yeah, all right. YouTube.
All right.
Thank you. All right.